As you can see, I am ready to go with JB Breaks Free with some frugal tips. In addition to that, we also have frugal tips from Steve Young74. But first, a little intro. Of course, it's Sunday. Back in a minute. Hi, this is Jan. I'm from New York City, and I truly love helping people to keep some more of their own hard earned money. In a second, I'm going to play JB's video clip. He has such wonderful tips, and so does Steve. Listen, this is what Sunday afternoon is all about, getting together, chatting, sharing information, helping each other, right? I also have a show Monday through Friday. It is an audio show on purpose for busy people like you, getting ready for work, getting ready for school. Give a listen every day, Monday through Friday, for some more tips and tricks. All right, so let's get started immediately with Breaks Free without further ado.
Hi, I'm Jay from the YouTube channel JB Breaks Free. So happy that Jan asked me to appear on her show with Steve Young74 to talk about some frugal tips that we currently use in our household. We've used these tips and more to become debt-free and to stay debt-free and to free up a few extra dollars because, as we know, things can get tight. So these have been great for us as well as many more. I want to share 3 with you right now. The first is when buying shampoos, conditioners, body washes, hand soaps, medicine like ibuprofen, acid reflux pills, Band-Aids. We're always going for the store brand and not the expensive name brand. And with ourselves and 2 daughters, that stuff really adds up. So we definitely are saving some money with the store brands. Number 2, when meal planning, we think of how we can use extra ingredients in the meals that we're cooking at the time to use in another meal later on that same week or perhaps even into the future. Like green scallions can be used for quesadillas, chicken wraps, beef wraps, shrimp tacos. Shredded cheese can be used for all those too. And maybe if we're making burgers at the house, we can use that as the cheese instead of buying a different kind of cheese. My wife makes sauce. We're going to freeze some. Use it again the next time. Also, we could use it for other dishes like stuffed peppers, which could also have some shredded cheese on there too. So make use of your leftovers. Make use of extra ingredients. It all adds up. And the third thing I'll talk about today is to buy items in bulk. And what sort of things in the JB Breaks Free household do we buy in bulk to save money? First is toilet paper, paper towels. We did go also a long time without even buying paper towels. We used cloth napkins. And that did save us money when we were first starting to break free from debt. We did use cloth napkins. We do incorporate some paper towels now back into the household, and we buy them in bulk. Toothpaste. We use 5-gallon water jugs, and that saves us. I know we could just use tap water, but we're comfortable with a 5-gallon jug. Hand soap we buy in bulk, big containers, and then fill up the small ones. Disinfectant wipes. My little girl has pink eye right now, and we are disinfecting everything into the house. Laundry detergent, coffees, juice boxes for the kids. The tortillas that we use for wraps we buy in bulk. So those are 3 items, 3 ideas for frugal living tips that hopefully you can incorporate into your household to just be as free and frugal as you can be. And I hope this video finds you well. Jan, thank you very much.
Actually, JB Breaks Free, thank you very much. And we truly appreciate your tips. Okay. I'm having a little bit of a technical issue on the show, but you pretty much figured out what Jay has to say. And I do really appreciate the fact that Jay has mentioned to use multiple use items. Let me get me on solo layout here. Okay, just take a second. R2. This happens sometimes when you're working on these platforms. That's totally okay. Again, thank you, JB. You know, you're right. Multiple use items, not being so picky. If you already purchased shredded cheese for one thing, why do you have to buy another one when you already have the shredded cheese for not just one thing, but get to reutilize it for other meals? I'm going to put Steve Young on in a second, but I want to mention something that I'm doing. Now, I went into my freezer section. Into my freezer at home. And I said, I'm on this mission to not have to shop for the entire month. Okay. And that for me is a stretch because usually I would do it every 2 weeks or sometimes every 10 days. I'm on a mission to not have to make a purchase for the entire month. We are at the time of this recording approaching mid-month. Okay. But not quite because you're watching this on the 12th. I'm recording this on the 11th. Okay. Which was yesterday, Saturday. So I said, wait a minute, you still have how many days left to the month? Basically, 19 days left to the month, right? So I start counting. This is where it becomes, as I call, a bean counter. I count what I have, I count the components and everything else, and I could easily get through the remainder of the month for all of my meals. To not have to shop for groceries for an entire month is really good, in my honest opinion, for so many reasons. Now, without further ado, let's head on over and watch Steve Young's clip with his wonderful tips. Hang on.
Hi, Janet. Hi, everyone. I have 3 tips I want to share with all of you that I think will be very beneficial to all of you that has helped me along the way. The first one is some of us out there are coffee lovers. Some of us like to go out and get coffee. About 3.5 years back, I was going to Dunkin' Donuts about 3 to 4 times a week in the morning, going through drive-through, getting a large coffee. And it was costing me $2.57 per cup. So if you add up 257 times 4, you get somewhere right around 10 and some change, maybe $11 just to get coffee. So I stopped doing that. Not that I was obsessed with doing that, but I stopped doing it. Instead, I went back to my old ways, went and bought coffee at the store for less than $10, I assure you, whether it be a container or a bag or however it came. And then I started going back to that, and it saved me so much money because look at the difference in the amount of cups I was getting. 3 to 4 versus a bag that would give me 60 or 70, 50. I never really counted it, but you know where I'm going with this. It was an excessive amount of cups of coffee in comparison. My next tip is when you go grocery shopping, please make sure you eat some type of meal or a good snack before you go, because if you don't, you are definitely going to wind up spending more money than what you normally should spend. I do recommend, if you're going to eat something though, eat something that's protein based, because protein has a habit of suppressing your appetite, and it cuts it off. So that'll help you go in there with a better sense of mind, what's on your list, and you're only going to shop for that, and you'll spend less money. So I do encourage, eat something before you go. And the third, last but not least thing I used to do, I don't do it anymore. It's coming up on my anniversary on the 29th of this month. I gave up all soda, Coke, Pepsi, all of that. I got rid of it. The only thing I drink now in way of sparkling water is things like Polar, Spindrift, LaCroix, Bubbly or Buble, however you pronounce it, things like that. Um, it doesn't have any sugar. It just has natural flavoring in it. So if I need something carbonated, I tend to go that route, and it helps me out. You don't want to drink soda, especially colas, because you've got phosphoric acid. That's nothing but a calcium depleter. I don't know if you guys know that or not. Um, Cola is not good for you. It's very bad on the system. And then when you add high fructose corn syrup, which is a weight inhibitor, that doesn't help either. So those are my 3 tips I wanted to share with you. I hope they're beneficial to you. Thank you, Jan, for allowing me to be here. I really appreciate it. Bye.
Your 3 tips. They are all wonderful. Of course, the one that sticks out for me the most is definitely in the soda arena. How many people are draining themselves possibly of some, nutrient or whatever? I mean, I'm not a doctor, I'm not making any claims, but it's just not good for you. If something you're picking up in a can or a bottle or a package and it looks more like a science lab, of course, we have to be careful with everything. And the additional part is that we get to save money too. Now, of course, thank you both gentlemen for your wonderful tips. I want to mention something else again in reference to freezer stockpile. There is no reason, as long as you own a sink, which most of us do, as long as you have access to water, to not make water-based meals. Many times people approach the middle towards the end of the month, and that's where it gets a little sticky, a little, bare bonesy in the budget. Prepare now. Prepare early. Make a big cauldron of any soup of your choice. What I plan to do today, I'm going to make me a big old vegetable soup, a big old pot. And guess what? The beauty part of the vegetable soup is that it's not going to have grease in it because I'm not putting meat in it. Okay. It's going to be purely with vegetables and tomato based. And that's it. I'm deciding, is it going to be small pasta or is it going to be rice as the, bulky part in addition to the vegetables? So because it doesn't have any meat in it, it will get a longer shelf life in my refrigerator. So I think that's a great thing. And I can make as much or as little as I want. But since I'm in the neighborhood making that soup, I'm going to make enough. I'm going to make enough for 7 days. I could have a couple of portions this week, a couple of portions next week. I will keep a couple of portions down in the refrigerator section, and then I will freeze a few portions for the future. And I'll always say it, and many of you will probably agree. Food in the freezer is money in the bank. We can manufacture our own soups, stews, casseroles, or other meals with the stuff we already have. There's no reason in the world not to do it. And I tend to think that we could do a lot more like this lady does. Fantastic brand new week. Take good care now. Bye bye.